What is up, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Weekly Roundup. I'm your host, Jake Friel. As always, Steve Reichel. Got a jam-packed show for you today. Going to be talking if baseball will return, obviously, with what feels like the millionth proposal that the MLB's put forward to the MLBPA. The deadline for the proposal is tomorrow night, so we'll see if we do get baseball back relatively soon, or even as soon as tomorrow. So we'll see with that. We'll also be giving our favorite baseball moments. And later on in the show at 7:30, we'll be interviewing five-time professional boxing champion Vinny Pazienza. So that should be a lot of fun. But as always, first things first, let's get to our sponsor. We are brought to you by our doc, Make 'em Yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, Burlington, Cherry Hill, and Princeton locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Our poll question is also brought to you by Ambuck Services, AMBUCK Services.com. Tell them Michael Ambrose sent you. Get yourself 20% off. Just mention A2D. Get yourself 20% off. Gutters, gutter guards, gutter restoration, or any other restoration you need done around your house. They got you covered. That website is ambuckservices.com, AMBUCK Services.com. Leading up to the poll question, the MLBPA will agree to the MLB's newest proposal. Agree or disagree?
You want me to kick this one off, or do you want it, brother?
Go for it. You can have it.
I don't think they're going to do it, man. At this point in time, I really think that we should subscribe to the fact that we're probably going to be looking at 50 games, and they're really going to just make it where the baseball players are just going to have to say, we're going to have to do this for the fans. It really isn't a good look at this point in time. They win 82, then you go 72, then they go 76. It's just ridiculous at this point. I already told you what it was. It's about, it's not just about safety and all that stuff in money and all that. It's about setting the precedent of what's going to be moving forward over the next few years of what's going to be happening in baseball. So
yeah, no, absolutely.
It's kind of just a really bad storm, bad timing of a couple things going on right now for both what's going on with the Players Association stuff with the ownership, the coronavirus, the fans wanting to get a season in, the players wanting to get a season in. So I'm going to have to disagree, but I still think we are still going to get baseball in some form.
Me personally, I'm going to just lean towards agree just because of this report earlier today from Bob Nightingale that Turner Sports did agree to a deal with MLB for a postseason contract this season. So that to me just tells me right there. Obviously, I don't think this proposal is going to have. Well, let me just go back a little bit. No, I don't know why I said disagree, but I don't know why I said that. But anyway, could it happen? Yeah, I think it's more just hope for me. Just like obviously with the deal with TBS and the MLB, it's $1 billion deal, I believe, this year, and then some money stretch over to next year. So yeah, screw you, Greg, over in Florida. Lucky golfing earlier today. Life's terrible, Greg. I gotta say, life's struggling right now. But yeah, I think it's more just a baseball fan to me. I just want baseball back. I really do.
I totally feel you on that one, but it's one of the things where, like I said, it's kind of. I just feel like they're not going to agree with the current proposal, and we're going to wind up with less because we're gonna get past Sundays. They can't begin to start, and it's going to move that process of shortening the schedule, shortening the games, and less money and less everything. It's really a bad situation, and we've already spoke on this, man. It's continue just punching themselves in the eye.
Yep. And then you have Kyrie Irving talking a little basketball, but he's like, I don't think we should do it. I don't think and Tom made a video on it earlier today. You can check that out on our main page.
Definitely.
But
I co-sign that. Tommy hit the nail on the head. Like, listen,
yeah.
Like we get it, man. But like, what are you posturing up for at this point in time? Like everyone else wants this. Like, yes, do we all want change on other things that are going on that you're trying to make this about? We all do, but you can't hold the rest of your league hostage because you want something for yourself right at this point in time.
Yeah, exactly.
You go on. Like, listen, we get it. We all like as much as he probably doesn't think, there's more people probably on board with him than he thinks on what he wants.
Mhm.
But it's not about, you're not stopping the wheels are moving forward. We're already going. I mean, I get standing up for, being the voice of, the NBA, so to speak, because you haven't really had the NBA players kind of speak up and have their word being spoken. But
Yeah.
as Tommy put on, what better way to do that than put on the season?
Yeah, because you're on a national platform, and that's my argument. You're on a national platform.
Like not to, like, you guys can do your tributes, like you guys. I know some of you guys are probably gonna have sneakers, or
Oh, absolutely.
you're gonna have shirts for warm ups. Like everyone's gonna have something.
Mhm.
So like at the same time, like, you're gonna be making your message heard loud and clear. And the other thing that I forget about, all right, you shut down the season, you're not gonna have microphones in your face for people to get what your thoughts are.
Mhm.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
I mean, Kyrie, I love you, but Tommy hit on the head. Shut up, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. But it really raises the question too. Obviously, reporters aren't going to be in the face of players, and in any sport.
But we will still have forms of media access as.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So it's like when you're sitting there saying that, like, what are you doing? You're being totally counterproductive to the situation. What not just of the platform aspect of it, but the other side of it, which again, what Tommy had already brought up in the video on from the day, was what the sport also does to the world, this country, etc. Is start the healing process. I keep sitting there saying it. Guys, remember 9/11. What did baseball mean to coming back?
Yep.
Bringing normalcy to what happened.
Mm-hmm.
We all have our own thing when it comes to it, obviously. Yep. But it meant a lot having baseball come back at that time after what was going on. I think, not to forget what's going on, what needs to change moving forward, but just so we get some semblance of normalcy. That's all.
Yeah, and I think that's what everyone's really looking forward to. Yeah, exactly. I said I think that's honestly what everyone's really looking forward to. And Prism actually has a good it's more of a statement. How much of actual playing this season is about damage control and not to alienate the fans? I don't really think it's as much alienating the fans. It's just really the league just kind of just not taking care of themselves, just like covering their own ass, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Because God forbid someone gets sick, like a fan in attendance, someone gets sick, then they'll have like a whole legal thing with the league, and then it's just like a whole back and forth, and then some people start piggybacking off of that, be like, oh, well, I got sick too. This happened, that happened. So then I get it as far as like the no fans, at least this season. But there's also football, which they were saying, I think it was about a month ago. It was about a month ago, give or take. And they were saying they expect to have full fans in attendance and stuff like that. So, but also that's a couple months down the road. So that's something that I would expect, but we'll see. We'll see as far as that goes.
I was waiting for that Rob's comment there.
Prism, Chris Proger's best friend.
Yeah, you got the big F-bomb too. So, but I mean, the thing with what he said is like the damage control. Like even the other thing, like we're like more to the point. Like even we move forward and there's not fans. You don't think fans across the nation aren't going to figure out a way to give some energy to their players? Hey, they said we can't go to stadiums, but you damn well sure Philadelphia fans are going to be in the parking lots.
Oh, absolutely. You would hope anyway.
Like I know, like I heard something. Harper was sitting there saying that like it's not going to be the same environment without the fans there. If that is the case, that's what's going to happen moving forward. But hey, man, there's a reason we got big screens and you can hear us loud enough from the parking lot, brother. We'll make it happen.
Yeah. Prism with his comment. Yep, we're rebooting Lethal Weapon. I'm Chris Rock character, and Pronger is Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci.
Oh man,
that's a heck of a sight. No, but like, and that's an interesting point too, because do they even leave the parking lots open? That's the real question.
Yeah, I think if they don't at least give that concession, you might have a problem.
Yeah,
in the stadium they're liable. In the parking lots they're not.
Maybe, but I think what's going to happen is once we see whatever season come back, whether it be basketball first or basketball is set to come back mid-July, but we'll see. We'll see if that happens. But and that leads to the thing with no fans in attendance at stadiums too. I just don't see how they leave the parking lots open either. I don't see it. As much as I'd love to just go and tailgate, I don't see that either, unfortunately.
If they don't do that, you're gonna have a real problem.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have a real problem because you can only tell the fans to be there and support so much if you can't give them something to kind of like. We're getting to the point where you're starting to get some of these restaurants being able to kind of serve food outside. Like they'll have to have like a number on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you might have to have a guy at the front with a the number clicker at a certain number, like you guys can get it for them.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna be able to have there'd be 500 people be able to be out there or something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But like it's one of those things. Like I think that like I said, like it's one of those things where it might not be the same, but fans will find a way to give that energy, especially here in Philly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like fans will find some way to come together and celebrate their team, whether it be in the parking lot or at someone's house. So
exactly.
Yeah, we'll see, but I guess we'll find out Sunday whether the proposal goes through. But getting into some of our favorite baseball moments, and you guys, the fam, can also give theirs as well. But Steve, you want to kick it off?
I got a couple, man. Like there's a couple, like when I was younger, man, it was just like there was some like surreal kind of cool moments. 92. A lot of people forget the whole Deion Sanders craze. When he was playing with Atlanta, and then he was in the World Series with the Braves. So it was kind of a crazy time at that point in time when he was doing that. He was. At the time he was the star of the world.
Absolutely. Yep.
93 team that baseball the fireworks special with that Padres series where we had a game got rained out, wound up being later in the day. Then it goes in the extra innings and Mitch Williams gets that pinch hit RBI in the 20th inning. I remember we were at the one game. My grandmother drove us home, hit back home. The game's on. She's trying to get us to go to sleep, and I'm sitting there. I got my butt beat that night to watch him freaking get that last RBI. It was worth it. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's so many other cool moments, like Cal Ripken when he broke the hits record. There was just so many moments that we can pull from, and I'm sure we're going to start getting some from the fam in here shortly. So, what do you got? I know you're a little bit of younger generation, so you probably got something more along the lines of the upper 2000s, the mid 2000s.
Yeah, right around like upper to mid 2000s. Like obviously I played baseball back in the 90s, but I didn't really start watching baseball until like early 2000s. Obviously, you have the World Series back in 08. That's a given. Doc's perfect game. That's a given. Another one with one that really resonates with me, and I'm not even a Yankees fan, but Derek Jeter's final walk-off.
No.
Oh my God, I love that one.
The World Series with him and I forget the other guy.
That's another one too. Absolutely.
When they wound up kind of getting their monkey off the back, because remember. There was a point in time that the Yankees kept trying to put teams together. Steinbrenner put teams together, and they would fail. He put some more stars on it, they fail. It was literally we were watching what happens to Dallas every year to the Yankees. For the better part of the late '90s, as we got into those teams that finally get those Joe Torre teams that got them over the hump.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was interesting, and then it was the Jeter team. People forget until Jeter got there, they hadn't won anything since Reggie Jackson.
Yep.
So like they were throwing everything they could at it, and it was. As a Philadelphia fan, you had to just sit back and like, we ain't winning, but neither are the Yankees.
Yeah.
And I know we more hate the Mets, but I have I got family in New York, so I got a little bit more disdain for them Yankees, or as I say, the Yankees.
Yeah. Prism says Luis Gonzalez, the series winner off Mo in Game 7. Yeah,
that team was
a good one.
That team was loaded crazy, and if it wasn't for Kirk Schilling, they would have never been there.
Mm-hmm. Going back a little bit, Brian Daly also has one as well. The 2004 Red Sox down 3-0 in the series, coming back to beat the Yankees. That's a phenomenal one.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of moments from a lot of these games that you get like over time, and it's just like we even had a moment that came up last night for the HD page was Doc Ellis's no hitter.
Yeah.
When he was on LSD. Like, oh, I'm not pitching tomorrow. Ball.
That's a crazy story.
He is pitching. He had to go to the freaking stadium. So.
That's a phenomenal story.
I mean, it's one of these things that, like, I think as sports fans, like, as we've got, and we've all, I think everyone almost said it, like, why haven't we seen that game? Why isn't it somewhere? Why isn't somebody,
right.
like, even if his kids, like, someone needs to hit up his kids, like, yo, you guys need to make a stick and get this game out there.
This dude was on drugs and he pitched a phenomenal game.
I don't think it was fun. I think it was like he had like 8 walks, if I remember correctly.
It was it wasn't like it was a bit of a
but still.
Oh yeah,
in the grand scale of things, he was on a freaking like a freaking psychedelic drug, and he was a no hitter. Take it for what you want. I mean, we can even go further back into some of our own like Phillies members, even back. Some of the stuff that Carlton did for the Phillies. Schmitty when he broke 500. Like any fan knows, like when you think of that call, we only can think of one thing, and it's not Schmidt going down the bases like a freaking maniac. It's Harry Kalas's call. So it's like we have, like, us as Philly fans, we have different memories when it comes to that. Just like I'm sure like people in Chicago have different memories of like from some of the White Sox teams that won. In the 2000s, and even some of those Cubs teams when they finally got their monkey off of their backs.
Yeah. Tom's also in the chat. Yo, boys, to the poll, I disagree, which is actually funny because I have a little bit of breaking news. According to Jeff Passan, the Major League Baseball Players Association has rejected the MLB's latest proposal and will not counter, sources tell ESPN.
I told you.
The saga continues. Good. Look, you're going to have to guarantee their money this year. At this point, you're going to have to guarantee the players their full money this year. Because I think the most recent proposal that was rejected, it was 80, it was like 80 to 85%, something like that. But surprise, surprise. Exactly, Daly. Pete's also in the chat. What's up, Pete? I mean, like how, like that's really the only way you can go now. Maybe cut down the games a little bit. 55 games, 100% salary. Like, I don't know how much further you can go. I really don't.
I mean, at this point in time, like I said, with the fact that they're not even going to counter, it just tells you what it is. They're basically trying to see what they can get over on the players at this point in time. They're using the kind of fans to kind of pressure them into getting.
Uh-oh. Steve? Is he in, out, maybe?
What happened?
Okay, there we go.
We back?
Yeah, we're back now. We're back.
We got frozen there for a second. Oh, man. Is it going to be one of them technological nights?
Did I freeze on your screen too, or?
Oh, yeah. I was completely frozen. I was looking at your progress bar screen.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that was fun.
I don't know what the issue is. But anyway, Daly also says, I think it was 85% they made the playoffs or something like that. Yeah. Yeah,
And like one of the things, like even if they have the thing with the playoff situation, like like what do you do?
right.
What are you gonna do? Like just do like a round robin tournament for 50 games to kind of determine what your bracket's gonna be for playoffs?
I think that's
Or
pretty much all you can do at this point.
you have to figure out something because if not, like I get it, like I think they're what they're doing to like kind of put to the point where I think they're kind of trying to use the pressure of the fans to make the players kind of give where they shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you gonna do at that point in time? So
Yeah, exactly.
I just think at this point in time, it's like literally like somebody has to come to the middle and say, listen, we need to come to make a concession, or have something written in where nothing this season takes precedent to move forward for the forward collective bargain agreement. Something has to happen on one of those ends because that is exactly why we're in this situation right now.
Yeah.
And you're exactly right, Rob. Goddamn Wi-Fi.
Technological issues. It's a part of it. You have to adapt. That's all it is. You just have to adapt to it. But yeah, at this point, it really just has to be the 100%, maybe 55 games. But I think the players will be fine with that. 55 games, like you said, Steve, to the round robin of the World Series. But will the owners be willing to pay that 100%? That's the real question.
Hey, listen, man. If you want to put their feet over coals and want to play this game with them, you have to take you playing a game of Russian roulette. You got to take the chance the gun's going to go off in your face too. So
yeah,
you want to play this game. This is the result that's come from it. You have to take ownership into it too. As much as you want to put it on them, you play the part too. You're trying to protect your investment too. Well, they're trying to protect themselves today, tomorrow, their family, and moving forward. There's nothing wrong with that. You're telling a bunch of millionaires to protect themselves from billionaires, and I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. It's really going to be interesting now because at this point, it's really just a game of chicken, like it's been the past couple weeks. That's all. That's really it. Who's going to jump first? Daly also says, I don't think they care about the games as long as they get 100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. I think that's a sticking point because I think what the players are worried about is they're going to use verbiage and language of what's going to happen this season to kind of move forward into collective bargaining. Mm-hmm. And that's why I think we're having this merry-go-round. And that's why I just think at this point in time, you should just throw it all out and be like, listen, we're gonna have the Wild Wild West for however many games we're gonna have this season, and when we come to the collective bargaining agreement, that's when we're gonna have this discussion.
Yeah.
But it stays on what we had into the previous full 100, the 100 whatever game season we were supposed to have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not at the point where I don't think the players should have this all on their shoulders too.
Yeah.
And I think people want to sit there and say, we're all hard on them at first, but I think everyone's kind of gotten to the realization that, I don't think there's necessarily a disconnect between the players association, the union, and the owners. It's just the owners want what they want.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, we're losing this, we're losing that. Well, everyone's losing out at this point in time.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of cap this off and let's kind of, move forward so we can put something out there. This is, going back to, what we're saying. We're going to need sports in this country to get us through the summer. I guarantee you. And it's going to need more than just basketball. We're going to need more than just hockey.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff that's going on that we're going to have to keep ourselves busy with. Not everyone's still going to be able to get back to normalcy yet. So we'll see.
And that might take a while. Yeah, absolutely. That might take a while. As sad as that sounds, it might take a little longer than some of us may think or may want to think, but it's really going to be interesting. And like I touched on earlier, the NBA is an interesting one too because they're slated to come back in July, but there was a thing that we put out a couple hours ago to where they're considering not having fans in attendance for the 2021 season.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the fans thing should be the biggest thing right now. I just think at this point in time, regardless of what we feel about fans being in the stands, they just need to concentrate on getting everything situated to
just getting the product out there. Yeah,
it's one of the big things they need to kind of kind of hit on right now. If you continue to play this game, you're gonna damage your sport. That's the point where a lot of people gonna kind of feel where hockey and soccer and other these sports who may be on the outside of the big four looking to kind of barge their way in.
Yeah.
You don't have a real very sellable product at this point.
No, definitely not.
It's very specific to a specific group of fans. Where you look at other sports is that they have it's not very specific. It's something where you have different cultures, different backgrounds, everything. Where if you look at baseball, we're basically looking at kind of the high school crowd to the family crowd. The kids that you just want something to do that you can hang out and kind of like not really pay attention to the game, but kind of be out and have fun.
Right. No, absolutely.
And you have this is your family event to kind of get out for a few hours. And then you have your really like your 5% of the fan base of baseball fans that are hardcore. They're just we want it no matter what. So when you play that game, this is what you're gonna get.
Yeah. And that's the thing. We've talked about it for multiple weeks, and we've just as a sports media company, we've all talked about it on all our different shows, that how much it would hurt the game of baseball if they actually did not have a season this year. But
I think it would be very bad.
It's going to be very bad. I'm not going to say.
And I said it. Hockey. MLS. Everyone knows that my affinity for combat sports and boxing, etc. Yep. So I think if the baseball wants to play this game, they're going to play themselves out of a lot of money. Not just the players, and the players I don't really put that far. I put it more on the owners. You got to do what you got to do to get the product going.
Yep, absolutely.
It's not a perfect world. You have employees that want to do something, and you want to cry about money right at this point in time. Because you're losing out on something. You got it right. You got it right. Go James. It's dying. It's dying, and they need something.
I'm not going to say just yet it's dying, but if the MLB does not have a season this year, as sad as it sounds, it could very well be going that way. But I don't think it's going to be a killer per se. It's just going to hurt the younger fans more than anything. Like us fans that are like in our 20s and teens and whatever, we're already fans. We're not going anywhere. But it's just that younger generation that it really affects.
Yeah, I mean it's we had the luxury of having having it established, and we didn't really have big work stoppages. I think there was like one in like the beginning of '81 when it kind of this first thing, and then what we happened in '96 and stuff like that. So you've had these situations, but it was just when you're dying like the way you are, and you're not really having the problem growing it to the next generation, you can't really play these stupid games.
Right. And it's just, like I said earlier, I agreed to the poll, but obviously I was wrong just for their wanting to be baseball back. But there has to be a give at some point. That's pretty much what I'm saying. There has to be a give.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to have a give somewhere. Like I think the players have made enough concessions at the point in time. It's time for the owners to make one.
Yeah, absolutely. But like we touched on at the beginning of the show, Vinny Paz should be joining us shortly.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Okay. But yeah, it's really going to be interesting because obviously we're not seeing anything with the NFL currently at the moment. They should be fine. They're saying they're going to be full go once the season starts. Maybe I know they're also talking about considering also taking away possibly 2 preseason games, which I'm perfectly fine with. The only thing that it probably would hurt is those like younger players that usually, or those rookies, I should say, that aren't highly drafted, that are undrafted. And typically that 4th game is more for like them to get a spot on special teams.
Yeah.
But again, it's
And that's the other thing you got to think about moving forward with football. Like, are we really gonna is we're still in this gray area? We don't know if everything's gonna be status quo moving forward. So, are we gonna have a preseason? Are we not gonna have a preseason? Are they gonna open up the roster more? We already seen baseball was talking about open up the roster to
29.
Yeah, so I also think both the NFL should also probably think about that too, since the fact that these players aren't really going to be in condition the way they normally are, and you're going to have a lot more of these small little nagging core muscle injuries that they would already been had and healed from, and this is stuff that they go through most of the summertime. So it's like if you don't get a handle on it now.
No, I hear you. You're absolutely right. And that also raises my question, too, just hypothetically, when baseball comes back, it's just my question is, and I think what the players, or at least a good amount of players are concerned about, too, like hypothetically, if they do get sick, how are they protected? You know what I mean? Because obviously they all have families, and some of us at A2D, we have families, so it's that general concern that everybody has. Yeah. How can I keep myself safe while at the same time I don't have to worry about going back to my family and risk getting them infected? So I think that's also another conversation that they're having as well.
Yeah, it's one of these things you can't guarantee anything. So it's like, they have to weigh the risks.
Yep. And obviously, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, special guest, former 5-time boxing champion, Vinny Paz.
Nice introduction. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
There we go. There we go.
How you doing, Vin?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. Through all this mayhem and madness and
staying corona free.
Crazy. I'm staying corona free.
Good.
At least up till now I am.
Knock on wood, right? Yeah, fingers crossed.
Absolutely.
So obviously, the first things first, Vinny. Let's get into it. Obviously, early on in your boxing career, who was the fight? Was there someone that you looked up to as you were coming up as a boxer, or?
God, are you kidding me? I started boxing at age 5 because of this dude named what was his name? Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
At 5 years old because of Muhammad Ali, and that he orchestrated the rest of my life. To be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah. Now, obviously, we like the underdog story in Philadelphia, and obviously, you have an underdog story of your own with that tragic car accident that you had. You broke your neck, and obviously, during your comeback, you obviously hit some hurdles and steps along the way. What was your motivation to kind of just keep going?
Muhammad Ali never quit. It's true. Like literally, like I modeled my life after that guy so much. He was a great man, and just he was a great fighter. But even more so, it wasn't even like all his fighting that I was drawn to. It was just his style, his look, the way he used to crack jokes, the way he used to bust balls, the way he used to be serious at times. He was just an awesome individual all the way around the block. Great man for society.
Yeah, absolutely. Nailed it on the head, absolutely. But another thing as well, just kind of getting away from boxing real quick. Obviously, you were a special guest referee during the Brawl for All match at WrestleMania 15. So how was that experience?
How many times you get to knock out a rooster? That was funny. That whole McMahon family, what geniuses they are. Yeah, that was just a great night. It was a lot of fun. Met all the guys. They all were happy to meet me. It was really cool.
That's awesome, Steve. What do you have for Vinny?
Oh man,
let me add this.
Okay.
In that match, it was a fight, a real fight. Vince McMahon called me up. He said, "Vinny," he said, "you want to come down? We got a big show going on." But we're gonna do live boxing on it. I said, oh wow. I said, that's cool. I said, yeah, Vince, I'll come down. And I said, who's fighting who? And he said, Bart Gunn is fighting Butterbean.
Yep.
I said, oh wow. I says, you know, Butterbean can fight, Vin. He said, oh, I know. I said, so who's gonna win? Who are you gonna make win? He said, no, Vinny, it's a real fight. So I said, come on, Vince. Yeah, I know you want it to be a real fight, but who's gonna win? He says, no, Vinny, for real. We're gonna do it now. That's gonna be our new thing that I'm gonna try to implement in the wrestling. I said, oh, okay, cool. So I was a ref. All right, so now I'm the referee. I go, where was I? I think it was in Philadelphia.
I think so.
So, anyways, I go. I see all the wrestlers. Hey, Vinny, bad. How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. Geez, hey, Vinny, Bart's gonna kill that guy. Oh my! I was like, really? I said, you know, Butterbean can fight. Like, I mean, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
The Rock, the guy used to flip off the friggin' ropes like crazy.
Rob Van Dam?
I don't know. There's so many of them. So there was a bunch. All of them thought Bart Gunn was going to kill Butterbean.
Mm-hmm.
So I go into Butterbean's locker room. I said, hey, Bean, I said, you ready for this fight? He said, oh, yeah, Vinny. I said, no, Bean, they tell me this guy can really fight. He's in great shape and everything. Oh, Vinny, I'm ready. I'm ready to fight. I said, all right. I said, you know, I want to see you win. I said, I can't, give you anything. I can't put on too much because these people will kill me. They want to see the wrestler. They want to see the wrestler, knock you out, or beat you.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Oh, Vinny, I'm good. So I get in the ring. I call the fight. All right, bam, let's go fight. And I literally watched maybe 15, 20 seconds, and I go, oh my god. Butterbean is gonna kill this motherfucker. Oh my god. And sure enough, right after I said that, boom,
Bam.
he nails him with a shot and Bart Gunn goes off the ropes and down onto the canvas. I literally put my arm, my shoulder under Bart Gunn's arm and picked him up. And I shouldn't have let it go, but I let it go because the people would have went nuts if I stopped it.
Right.
So they go at it again, and then Bean just throws a bomb over the top, a right hand, and Bart Gunn was done. I could see it the first 20 seconds. I went, oh my god, Butterbean's so gonna kill this guy. And just it happened. All the wrestlers thought Bart Gunn was gonna kick Bean's ass.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a cool night.
It's one of those things, like, I guess, like, being the kind of position you are, being a champion, you got to be a part of that. Where, like, some people may not be able to get those type of situations and experiences. So I guess it's definitely one of the things that's a bucket list thing for you that just happened, right?
It just happened. Yeah, it was a pretty cool event. But yeah, you're right. It's my life has been so crazy. There was a time where I was on TV all the time. When you're on TV all the time, you wouldn't believe, like you wouldn't. I can't even make you imagine how different your life is, and how everybody's watching you, everybody's on to you, everybody wants to be with you.
Like, I posted live that we're on here. I got some guy, Ryan Murphy. He's like, "Hey, Vinny, met you in Newport Beach after your nose surgery." So it's like literally, like, people see, like, hey, like, hey,
that's awesome. Dr. Nicoli, I love that guy. And it could have been Dr. Orden too. He was another one. I don't know if you guys remember Dr. Orden. Remember the doctors, the show that was on in the afternoon after Ellen? Don't remember that? The doctors?
No, I don't think so.
That Dr. Orden was on that. He did my last nose surgery. And yeah, I guess I was, where'd he say, Newport Beach?
Yeah, Newport Beach, yeah.
Okay, I guess I was at Newport Beach. I guess I was at Newport Beach once.
And
At
Vinny,
some point.
I've forgotten so many people that you remember. It's
Oh
like
my
that.
God, yeah.
I get like that now, and I'm only half grade, so like.
And think about it. You probably never got hit 2 times in your life in the head hard.
I guarantee it. But like as we're getting into it, man, like I got a couple things for you here. Like a lot of things have changed since you've been boxing. What do you think about Tyson Fury getting ready to merge that heavyweight title?
I would really, really, really like to see Deontay Wilder be the champion of the world. He is a great guy, and I mean, he's a heart and soul strong dude. He's a great man. On the other hand, that Tyson Fury is full of fucking shit. He's the biggest fucking garbage talker in the history of boxing. Like he thinks he's Ali or something. He ain't shit. He's just a big lumper. I'm so pissed off because I don't know how this guy got. He says he's off drugs and he's so full of shit. He's high as a kite. He was whacked. He was on so much steroids and growth hormone in that last fight. He could have killed. He could have killed Deontay Wilder. And man, that pisses me off. I hate to see that. It's one thing you take a little bit of testosterone, but it's a whole nother world when you take growth hormone and you're getting. And I think he still did coke in the fight and stuff. Just I hate that fucking guy. He's just
we all got our ones that we love to watch, and we got our ones we love to hate. And no matter what, we still tune in to watch them either go down or unfortunately break our hearts at some point in
time. yeah. He's just like he literally is him and his fucking father, like the 2 biggest bullshit artists in the world. I can't stand them. And that's cheating. That's not winning a fight. That's cheating to win a fight, like big time. Big time.
And speaking of that, Vin, like we see a lot of this in this day and age where we see growth hormones, PEDs, etc. In both of your combat sports, regardless if we're talking mixed martial arts or boxing. You kind of figure we're at this point now where we could kind of see some of this phase out or properly with this. There's no real like true punishment for it. I mean, the UFC did a little bit with their deal with USADA, but what do you think is going to stick
forward? See what you just said. UFC or how about the WWE? He walked into the fight with Wilder when his fucking face changed, his body was bigger, like he looked like a monster, and he walked in with Triple H from the WWE. Mm-hmm. We all know Triple H is one of the biggest wrestlers of all time. Mm-hmm. He was hanging around with that crew, and God, all those guys are jacked up on juice and everything. I don't know how they got by the urine, the piss test, but God, yeah, I felt so bad because Wilder don't do shit. He just eats steak and gets in shape to fight. Mm-hmm. This other guy, fucking drug taking motherfucker, he is big fucking white. I can't stand him, but that's life.
Hey man, it's all right, man. Like I said, we all got our ones we love to hate. Like regardless of if we're talking WWE guys or we're talking about professional fighters. There's just guys that rub it the wrong way sometimes.
Oh yeah. But I know what it's like to be a shit talker. I was one of them. But being a shit talker, trying to get people to watch the fight, It's a whole different thing from you doing fucking drugs that can make you kill a man in the ring. Like he could. And Wilder's so damn tough. He's so damn strong. He put up with that for 12 rounds. He was wobbling like every fucking round. He was getting hurt. He was out of it. That dude's got so much balls to fight the way that he did. I don't know if you guys seen it like that, but I know I did. I know what it's like to fight 12 rounds, 15 rounds. I fought the last 15-round fight in boxing history. And you got to be a savage. And just that lump of fucking Tyson Fury, just
Now,
so
Tyson. Now you got some loose connections with Mike, obviously with having his trainer at some point in time in your life. What are your thoughts on him doing some charity, getting back in the cage, getting a ring at 50 plus?
I used to be with Mike a lot. I was with him at the Olympic Training Center when I was 18 years old, and in Colorado Springs. I was with him. He was there at the time. Pernell Whitaker, Vander Holyfield, Mark Breland. So many big names were there at that time. What was the question?
Just like what are your thoughts about him getting back in there at 53, regardless of his exhibition or whatever it is? Not a lot of guys get their heads punched in at that age.
Mike's a cool dude. Mike's a real good guy. He's doing great with that podcast that he has, and he's gonna get back in there and make it a cool show. And I think if the fight's only going to be a 4-rounder, it's not going to be long because he smokes way too much
pop. Whoever's going in there ain't going to have a gas can to do that.
No. Yeah, he smokes way too much pot for him to go any more than 4 rounds. So, but he looks good. He looks good. He's got speed, movement. He still can do it. I'm almost fucking 60 years old. I still chuck rockets. I swear to God.
I still box every day. The go is that power punch. So I mean, if you still got it, I'm sure you still got it, brother.
I shadow box every day for a little bit, and I lift weights and do sit-ups, and like I could fight, but I could only fight for like 1 minute, maybe like 2 minutes. I'll take on anybody. Give me 2 minutes to wipe somebody out. There's not too many guys that are gonna stay with me. But when you grow up and you drink booze all the time, and that guy smokes pot, and you're not the same. And so he's only going to go 4-round charity, and I think that's a good idea, because they'll make some money for some people that really need it, and Mike can have a little bit of glory days back to him, and who knows? A lot of people forget the last time we saw Mike Tyson, he got stopped like bad against a kid that's my friend from Boston, the kid McBride. Kevin McBride stopped him, and Mike would have just demolished Kevin in both their primes, but that was a bad night for Mike Tyson. Real bad night.
I say it all the time, like when people are bashing on him coming back, I'm like, you have to remember the sport wasn't really kind to him on his way out. They give him any favors or anything, and
you're correct.
So, and you know this better than anything, Vinny. Like, the sport is so unforgiving, and anyone who didn't even watch the movie, that part, what really tore me up about the movie was like when you came home, your family throws a party for you, you get the belt, and they immediately strip it of you. It was like one of those things that's like, I mean, it's one thing to be in that situation, but it's like one of the things about the sport where, like, hey, the machine goes on. The machine does go on, but you take my heart and soul while you're at it at the same time.
Oh my God, that was one of the worst moments of my life. I swear to God, that was literally one of the worst moments of my life.
Yeah, so hard to get to this. You
hit it on the nose.
I made it through this crazy situation, and you're not even gonna give me at least a few minutes with the damn thing before you take it from me.
Yeah.
Or not, it's just like, damn.
Yeah, and that was true. The movie was right on target. Miles Teller did such a great job on playing me, man. I don't even know how he did it so good.
Yeah,
I wasn't really around him all that much.
Before we came on, I seen a bunch of people were like, I'm not really a big fan of Miles. I didn't know how that freaking guy pulled off making Vinny look like such a like basically saying that you made him look better. I was dying. No, but and it's one of these things like how did that whole process come about too? Like when the movie was pitched to you and all that, like were you involved in the process of casting Vinny Pazienza for that movie?
The two executive producers of the movie can kiss ass because they're really rotten people. They got me really good on the movie. They got me really good. They were supposed to put it in almost 4,000 theaters. They put it in less than 100. That's why I didn't do anything, but I'm just really glad the movie came out really good, as a lot of people seen it. I'm really glad people are talking to me about it. Every day, at least one or two people, say something to me about bleed for this. I just left the market up the street. Somebody said, "Yo, Vinny, I just watched your movie. It was great." Thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
Is it kind of like a new thing since the movie came out, like the newer generation finding out about you? Is that kind of a cool thing for you?
That's a good question, and I don't have an answer for it.
Hey man, like it's one of these things. Like I've been because you were one of these guys that I love that era of boxing. I honestly to this day feel like your era of boxing is just why a lot of fans cannot connect to this new era, because you guys had so many characters and so many stars that it's just I'm just like, as much as I even love the Ali eras and stuff like that, I just kind of feel like that 80s to 90s boxers, they just had so much to offer.
Yeah, you're so right. I mean, it just seems like today in that era back then, just totally different. Mm-hmm. It's kind of odd, but I know exactly what you mean.
Man, it's one of these things, man. I argue with it a lot of people. People are like, boxing. I'm like, boxing's not dead. They just don't have the stars that they once had. And us as fans, we were just so hungry for it. And I just think that we're kind of disappointed because we're so used to having it was just like an endless supply of stars and characters, and it's just disappearing in that, and we're just clamoring wanting more.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a great comment. Great comment, and it's a compliment.
Hey man, it's a compliment to you. It's a compliment to everyone that you kind of gone to battle with, during that era, and just the guys above you and below you. It was that era, man.
Yeah, what an era in time. Isn't it so crazy how life has changed since that point? My God. Like, who would ever think there would be a phone in your pocket that you would go on it all day long? All day long. You wake up, you go on the fucking phone, the first thing you do. Yep. You go to sleep, you put away your phone, the last thing you do. Mm-hmm. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things you got to think about. Like, if someone would have told you, like, after you won that world title, like, somebody came to you like, listen, in 30 years, you're going to be able to access anything you want off of a little device in your pocket. You'd have laughed at them like, somebody
You're so right.
Yeah. All right. Now I want to get one last one because I know we're getting up against the end of it here too. Vinny, what is just one of your favorite moments in your career outside of the world titles and all that? What is just something that just one of the things you'll never forget?
I loved knocking out two people, Melvin Paul and Dana Rosenblatt. Those were really great for me. Oh my God. Fighting Melvin Paul the first time, he just went the distance with Hector Camacho, who at the time was unbelievable. And I wound one up and threw it over the top. Melvin, I knocked him out like cold. My God, that was like one of the coolest nights of my life. And then Rosenblatt with all the shit he was talking, I so loved knocking him out. Oh my God.
And one more thing, man.
Besides like world title fights, those were like world titles to me.
Now going to the world title fight, the Durant fight, when you came back for that, like how crazy was that whole situation? Because you were already supposed to be lined up with him before the accident and everything. You come back and you need to get right back into it with that one. What were your thoughts going into that? I know you're the Tasmanian devil and all that, but like you obviously had to have some thoughts in the back of your head, like what would happen.
Roberto Duran hit me harder than anybody ever hit me. He hit me. When I tell you that man, I don't know how they found out to call him Hands of Stone. When he hit you, it was mind blowing. It was a crushing punch every freaking time. Like every shot he threw, and it didn't look like he was coming out fast. He's no Roy Jones. He's no Julio Cesar Chavez, but something about that guy's power. Oh my God. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. Like he hit so hard. And everybody was telling me this leading up to the fight. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. That's the last thing I worry about. First punch he came, I go, no fucking way. No way. No, you gotta be kidding me. Shake it off, man. Shake it off. Because you talk to yourself in the fight. You talk to yourself, third person. Shake it off, Paz, man. Come on, move around, get warm, you won't feel it. So I'm moving around, I'm moving. He hits me with another shot in the body. I go, what the fuck? I couldn't believe it. I said, oh my God, I gotta take 12 rounds of this shit. And,
oh man. I mean, it was a classic, brother. It was definitely a classic.
And thank God I fought him when he was 77. That helped out a lot.
But before we wrap it up, Vinny, like, is there anything like you're doing like with yourself now? Like are you coaching? Are you doing anything in the community now? Like, what are you doing with yourself?
I'm always out making people happy. That's just my life. That's how I live my life. And it was like maybe a little bit because of Muhammad Ali, but right now the big thing that I've got going on is the A&E station is buying my story to call it, which is unbelievable, the greatest comeback in the history of sports. So that's going to be coming out in about a year, because now with the virus, it's
right.
Everything's shut down. But it's kind of crazy when I even say it, but it's kind of true. The comeback that I made was pretty damn strong, and it's going to be made into a great piece. They showed me some of the things they put together in the clips. Oh my God, it's going to be so cool, and they're going to call it the greatest comeback in the history of sports. And what network bought it? I think Fox
Okay.
bought it. Yeah, Fox or ESPN were going back and forth, but I think Fox got it.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that'll be out. When I tell you, it's going to be so cool, and I'm going to have so many people on there, talking, saying, little clips, the 10-second piece, 30-second piece. I made millions of dollars for Donald Trump. He's going to speak. Dana White, the biggest man in the world right now. Maybe Floyd Mayweather. It's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be a great show. An hour piece.
Yeah, we might have to get you back on once that starts coming around. We definitely will have to get you back on. But
I'm down with you.
Yeah, but Vinny, we really appreciate your time. Phenomenal story, phenomenal interview, phenomenal career. We really appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, Vinny?
Beautiful. Peace and love, man. Stay strong.
Always. You too.
Thanks for your time. And also another big thought before we wrap that up. I want a big shout out to his PR rep Zena. She's been supporting me since my case out commission day. So big shout out to her for linking us up with Vinny Paz tonight. So
what a guy!
Hearing from him,
what a guy.
Definitely didn't expect him not to vibe with Tyson.
I didn't expect that either.
I didn't think that was coming.
Wow. Whether that's true or not, that's a heck of a story.
Yeah, man. Listen, man. It's one of these things when you talk to these guys like that, you don't know like how the newer generation vibes with them.
Right.
And I guess that man just does not vibe with Tyson Fury.
It's all right.
One thing's for sure. Don't leave them two in a room alone together.
No, not at all.
Nothing good can come of that.
That was actually, to be honest, and we appreciate it, Daly. That was actually one of my more favorite interviews. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean,
really a lot of fun.
Some of these guys sometimes they make it so easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some of these guys, and a lot of our guests lately, like between Chris Pronger, Peace, when we had Vinny Pazienza. It's literally like we're just having a conversation with somebody that we've had conversations with all our lives.
And that's really what makes A2D different from just a lot of places. It's not just an interview; it's a conversation. That's all it is. We're just having a conversation with you.
When you really think about it, like when you're doing media at the end of the day, that's all it really should be.
I completely agree. Yep, absolutely.
But where it changes is because we don't have a media conglomerate telling us what content to produce, what questions to ask. We're asking what the fans want to hear, what the common man or woman wants to hear. So that's what makes, I think, what we do easier. Why a lot of our guests kind of feel open to have these type of conversations with us.
Yep. Yeah, but as always, we have to thank Vinny Paz for coming on, and as Steve touched on earlier, his PR lady Zena. Phenomenal. And Daly's making fun of me for saying phenomenal. I'm going to say it again. Phenomenal interview. But
listen, you can make fun of him all you want. He's not wrong. I mean, we could, really, like, before we forget about it, we weren't on the air for it this week, but we have to give Ralphie his love. It was his birthday this week.
Absolutely.
So,
happy birthday, Ralphie.
On the ones and twos. Happy birthday, brother. We're on the air today, so I get to say it.
He won't come in here and say thank you, but
no.
Knowing Ralphie for as long as I've known him, he's saying thank you.
Like I said, no talkies, brother. We got to get you up.
It's not going to happen with Ralph.
I know it's not, but I'm going to keep telling him.
He's got a couple cannolis at home, so he'll be all right. But as always, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Vinny Paz, also thanks Vinny Paz for a great interview. And we thank you guys after every show. That not to sound cheesy or anything like that, but we really do appreciate you guys coming on and just joining the conversation with us. We hope we kind of took you away from some of the craziness that's going on in the world right now. And we're just here to talk sports at the end of the day. That's all we're here to do.
Yes, sir.
But as always, a word from our sponsor.
And let you guys know what's going on the real at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
We're not, we don't like y'all said, no notes. We don't got no teleprompters. That none of that plays around. You just get from here.
Just straight. Yep. Absolutely. But as always, we are brought to you by our doc, make him yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, and Princeton, New Jersey. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. We are also brought to you by Ambuck Services, AMBUCK Services.com. Call Michael Ambrose, tell him A2D sent you. If you need gutters, gutter guards, restoration around your house, anything like that, deck restoration, they got you covered. Tell them A2D sent you 20% off. That website is ambuckservices.com, AMBUCK Services.com. As always, Jake Friel, Steve Reichel. We'll check you guys back on another episode of the Weekly Roundup. Later, guys.